I'm gonna take y'all back down memory lane for a minute. At the age of 6, we supposed to be outside, walking around, playing in the sand, get on the jungle gym, or even playing in a seesaw with your friends. At the age of 6, I was diagnosed with what you may ask, keratoconus. Like with keratoconus is an eye disorder where your eye shape is oval, but mine like a football shape pressing out. So from the age of 6 to now, it was a struggle. Allowed me to go through different challenges in life, different situations, even to the point with 7 eye surgeries, which included 6 cornea transplants and 1 cataract surgery. So today I want to talk to you a little bit about Life with Keratoconus, the documentary.
Here I am Dr. Joseph Allen, and I'm the host here on Dr. Eye Health. The channel helps you with the eyes, vision, and finding the best vision product. Now, again, in this video, we're covering keratoconus, which is a disease of the cornea, the front surface of the eye. Keratoconus is actually a disease of the surface of the eye, and that is where the front surface, called the cornea, and I'm going to go ahead and show that to you here. The front surface of the eye, of the eyeball here, the front surface is called the cornea. Now, the cornea here is the clear part. It's like the clear window to the eye that you see out of. Here, this is from the National Eye Institute. The normal eye has the front surface, which is pretty round. But in keratoconus cornea is, again, bulging out, forming the shape of a cone, and it actually is thinning. So that's basically what keratoconus is. Now, if you're somebody who has keratoconus, have never really know too much about it, keratoconus is actually a bilateral disease. It happens in both eyes. However, it's most likely asymmetric. So most people, it'll be more advanced in one eye than the other. But it generally does present in both eyes. Now, some people can have really mild keratoconus that's not really affecting their vision. They can usually just continue with glasses, regular kind of soft contact lenses. But people who get really advanced, moderate to advanced keratoconus, they have significant visual issues. They actually have really irregular astigmatism. Astigmatism can cause a really distorted vision. So people with really moderate and advanced levels of keratoconus will end up having excessive amounts of kind of warpage in their vision, and that could significantly affect their visual acuity. So they may have difficulty learning in school if you're in your teenage years trying to actually study and do well in school. It can make it tough. Same thing if you're trying to drive or you're trying to get to work. It can significantly affect your vision.
Today, I have 4 of my friends that I have also diagnosed with keratoconus. I want to talk to them a little bit about their experiences and when they got it. So my first person I have is Stephanie O'Kahie. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Stephanie O'Kahie, and as of right now, I work for the Department of Health, and I got diagnosed with keratoconus my senior year of high school. And originally we thought it was just like a really bad case of astigmatism, but when I tried to wear the colored lens contacts, I could actually see the color. And my doctor was just like, no, like you're not supposed to be able to see that. So she referred me to another doctor who was able to diagnose me with keratoconus.
What did you have? I know me had cornea transplants and 1 cataract. So what procedure did you have to help correct or help stabilize your keratoconus?
Immediately, I started wearing the RGB contact lenses. They're very small and they fit right over your cornea, and they're hard lens. And for me personally, it was painful. It's very heavy, so I definitely struggled with that. Even all the way into college, I minored in dance, and it was hard to dance with those lenses. They would easily pop out of my eye. So I actually, lost the lenses, and I just left it alone, thinking I could just function without them. And I really couldn't. I failed one of my classes because I kept on mixing numbers and equal signs because of my keratoconus. So I went back to a doctor, and I was wearing the hybrid lenses, which were RGP and soft lens. They were kind of not working with my eyes. I did the cross-linking, And finally now I wear scleral lenses. So it's been a journey. I, really try not to drive at night, especially without my lenses, because that's not possible. The lights, the reflection is just way too much.
Okay, great. So you had cornea cross-linking. Okay, cool. So one last question for you, Stephanie. Great question. So what would you tell somebody that don't know about keratoconus, I never heard of it, what would you tell them about keratoconus from your opinion and from your views?
For people who like have a family member that has it, or a friend, I would definitely suggest looking into it. And you don't have to spend hours like learning about it, but just to at least understand how that person in your life may see the world, with or without their without the contact lenses, because it can be like something tough to deal with sometimes. So just to have that support, to know how to support your friend or family member would definitely be very helpful. There are images online that show how people like us see without our contact lenses. And also for people who have it, I would just say to make sure you look into getting a doctor who you feel like extremely comfortable with, and confident with, because and also always, if you feel the need to always get a second opinion, because you never know, you might be wearing a certain lens that is not good for your eyes. Like for me, I wore hybrid lenses for maybe 2 years, and they actually reversed what the cross-linking surgery did. So it's just always to try to stay on top of your appointments.
Yeah. Thank you. Next we have one of my great friends is in the military with keratoconus, but an awesome guy, awesome testimony. Let's introduce you to Kenneth James Facil. Hey Kenneth, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Can you get a little introduction about yourself to the people?
My name is Kenneth Facil, and I have keratoconus, and I've had it since I was 18 years old.
So one of the questions I want to ask you were, what were some of the effects that you had dealing with keratoconus?
So when I found out, it was once I got to basic training for the Army. And so then from there, I had to go through a medical evaluation board to decide whether I could stay in the Army or not, which they allowed me to stay in because at the time my eyesight was stable. However, in the last couple years, my eyesight has really started to deteriorate. And now I've had to look into cross-linking. I've had cross-linking done on my right eye. And I have an appointment on Tuesday to get a scleral lens for my right eye. Once I do that, I can then work on my left eye.
What would you tell somebody that never heard of keratoconus and never don't know what that is? What would you tell them about it from your point of view, from your views? Like what? Maybe some encouraging words, or maybe just something you would tell them.
I would probably tell them that it's more than just bad vision. There's a lot more to it, like double vision and light halos and worse eyesight at night. It's a lot more than just bad vision, and it usually can't be corrected with glasses. It takes like surgeries or other things like that.
Next, I have one of my great friends as well named Melissa Mendoza. She also has a powerful testimony, talks about keratoconus and what she's been through. Hey Melissa, how you doing?
Hi, I'm Melissa. I am 36. I was diagnosed with a form of keratoconus when I was about 27. I have a form of keratoconus that's called PMD. It's only slightly different. It just means that instead of the degeneration being centralized, that it's more off to the side. So that's, it's very similar. So I experience a lot of the same issues with the, very cloudy vision, halos, shadowing, things like that.
So what challenges have you faced during this time of keratoconus?
Yeah, just getting fit for the right contacts was probably the first struggle. It took about 3 years several doctors, to find the right doctor, the right fit, the right type of lens that didn't irritate my eye, that was comfortable. I remember several years, not being able to see or having contacts that were so irritating. They would make my eyes red and watery, and like people were asking me if I was crying at work, and it was terrible. So, overcoming that obstacle, and then, just learning to navigate it. I was 27, when I was diagnosed. I know you were younger, but it kind of came as a shock, and I was pretty independent, and it took me a few years to be okay with asking people for rides and asking people for help when I couldn't see something. I thought for a long time that if I just stayed on top of things and practiced driving at night and things like that, that it would be okay, and that was not the case. Cross-linking was brought up around the start of my diagnosis, but it was still at that time not FDA approved in the United States. So it wouldn't have been covered by my insurance. And I just kind of felt, I was getting mixed opinions from different doctors, and I kind of felt like there maybe wasn't enough research, on the long-term effects of it. And several doctors had told me that my case was so advanced at that point that it wasn't going to do much, since cross-linking, mainly just stops the progression. So I actually opted to never have the cross-linking done. I wouldn't be opposed to it in the future, if something new and innovative came out. But right now, I get by with scleral lenses.
What could you tell the world that doesn't know about keratoconus or doesn't know what keratoconus is? What can you tell them from your point of view, or from your mindset that they should know about?
I think, just being aware and being patient with us. I think it's hard for a lot of people to understand how severe the vision impairment is with keratoconus. And I even have family members and loved ones that, get frustrated sometimes when I can't see something, but, it's like, I'm not being difficult. I'm not just telling you I can't see it. I legitimately can't see it. So, just being patient and understanding and mindful. And, I have a good friend that knows automatically if there's subtitles or words on TV that to be read out loud, because I can't see them.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you, Melissa, for coming on. We got one more last one, Miss Debbie Oliver, also the keratoconus patient as well. Hey, Miss Debbie, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing, Art?
I'm doing great, doing great.
So with keratoconus, tell me what has it done for you that kept you going and not giving up?
So I would say that I have two major challenges. And the first one would have been driving. So through the past 26 years, I've gone from being able to drive myself full time to only being able to drive during the day to not being able to drive at all. And this has gone up and down pretty much the entire time because my vision fluctuates so much from time to time. And it limits how much you can go out and how much time you can spend with friends. And, when you're relying on other people or the time of day, you got to rush home. And it makes it very difficult with the driving. The second challenge, which I would say is just as bad, is reading, which with reading, it has absolutely affected my work and even my personal life. I can't, it's so difficult to see at the computer and to see at the laptop and to be able to see everything. And when I'm working from home, because the work I do does allow me to do a little work from home. When I'm working from home, it's a little bit easier. I can bring the laptop up real close and I can enlarge all my fonts and that. But when I'm at work, and I have to go in with patients into different rooms and I'm on other people's computers, I have no idea what those computers say. And it makes it so difficult to operate. I have gone through and typed everything I needed to say in a patient's chart and then had to go to my office on the laptop to edit it because I can't see it in the office. And so there's no reason for me to try. And having these difficulties with the reading, it's held me back absolutely in career, but it's also taken, I would say, some of the drive out of me.
What would you tell the world about KC? What could you tell them that would help them understand more about what keratoconus is to you and how it made you feel in your day in the years of having a keratoconus?
I would want to tell the world that keratoconus is a really difficult eye disease. There's absolutely different severities of it, but most people suffer with keratoconus, whether it is trying to read, trying to see your friends' faces, trying to recognize people, trying to drive, trying to cook, trying to do anything. It all has its challenges with keratoconus, and it's not an easy fix. And people think that it's an easy fix. Why don't you wear glasses? Why don't you get LASIK? And these are all things we can't do, and we all wish we could do.
Great. Sounds good. Thank you so much for your time. I thank you. So now y'all probably wondering, okay, I interviewed all of these people. What about you, Arthur? What have you learned about keratoconus, or what has it done for you? Well, a little bit about me. I was diagnosed with keratoconus at age 6. Found out about it, went from glasses to contacts, from contact to glasses. Didn't really find out the effects of me or what it was or what it could do until I got around 17, 18. See, I had my first eye surgery in summer 2011. During that time went well, but it rejected because I wasn't taking my medication as was, didn't know because I was young. Second one happened, it got better. But during that time and me having the first one, my right eye started straining because I was using that more and had to get another surgery. That's surgery number 2. During that process of time, everything went well again. So a lot of time we think something goes well, it goes well for the point of time. Then it may end up having to either do a redo or having to do something different to make it better. That was my situation. It got better, but in the midst of both of them getting better and healing, it began to have side effects, allowing me to get surgery number 3. After surgery number 3, and doing everything going good, and I'm seeing better both eyes, I'm back doing my everyday routine, back driving, back working, doing everything a normal person supposed to do. But then, after a while, the situation happened all over again. You probably question, okay, well, you had 3 eye surgeries, what's been going on? I couldn't tell you, but what I could tell you is, I had surgery number 4. Surgery number 4, okay, going to the doctor again, seeing my routine, boom, okay, got it done. Once I got it done, back to everything going good, normal routine. And again, with keratoconus, you gotta be stable. It's not gonna get better, but it gets stable. But in the meantime, it's stable. Your cornea has to also go with your body, so meaning what you eat, meaning what you put in your body. Basically, you gotta take care of it. I wasn't at that time. I would eat what I want to eat, do what I want to do. Boom, effects happen on cornea. Gotta get another one. Surgery number 5. Surgery number 5 was worse. Put me to a state of depression because I was at the point of like, why I keep getting surgeries? Why I keep going through the same old thing over and over again? Had little support. Nobody really knew what I was going through but me and my family. So I just went to a real state of loneliness, real bitterness. Didn't care about nobody. Just was to myself. Slept all day. Didn't go nowhere. So I had to really realize that I have a disease that won't get better, but I got to accept who I am and go forth in it. And that's what I did. I accepted the situation and I went forth with it and kept on going. Then I found out again that in the midst of me having my 5th eye surgery, had a minor setback that allowed one of the tissues to fall out. Was it tissue in the ass? When they're doing a cornea transplant, they take your cornea out, but they put a corneal tissue behind the lid to keep the eye from moving with a thing called sutures, and it's sutured up. Well, it slipped out due to a minor setback. Had to get another surgery. Surgery 6. With surgery 6, it got better. Things began to get better. Finding out then I had cataract surgeries. You probably say, man, this kid at the house, 5, 6 eye surgeries. What's going on? But I can tell you this. After the 7th one, everything got better. I too went from a 2200 to now 20/40 and left eye, 20/50 in my right eye. So it has got better. So what I would say to people about keratoconus, it's a disease that can get you in the state of loneliness and depression. Just like any other ailment we have, anything go through, we have like people losing their jobs or people getting hurt, they can't play basketball again, or they quit over. We go to the same situations. The simple fact is, you can tell them, but you can't tell us because it's in our eyes. So anytime you see somebody with they can't see well, don't ridicule them, don't judge them. We have a disease called keratoconus where our pupils are different, also our vision. We see things that y'all couldn't imagine seeing with our vision. But it's something we have to deal with, something we go through everyday struggle. So I thank y'all for your time. Thank y'all for listening to my documentary, Life with Keratoconus. When you get a chance, go join the group. It's Keratoconus group on Facebook. Hey, y'all have a good day, man. Peace.